Interesting that this comes with an engine block drain bolt, and instead of a square, it's a hex. So this is what I've been dealing with like the last 45 minutes. So I'm trying to just get the belt back on, but it's super, super tight. Like this is as loose as it can go. Like I literally had this, it's not right now because it's got tension on it, but I have this hand height, like, you know, I can loosen this with my fingers. I could loosen this with my fingers. Like I could feel this at the bottom like it's supposed to be. So like everything is in alignment. I checked my routing multiple times. But like the belt is just ridiculously tight. It's like might as well not even use a tensioner at this point. But I destroyed the first belt, the new one, trying to get it on. Hooray. So I'm trying to put the old one back on. Not stoked about, but is what it is at this point. But yeah, I tried using pry bars, pretty much just like slip it on, and that's what destroyed this. I'm trying now to just, you know, spin. I think that connects to our flywheel. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm trying to spin this bad boy down here. Well, alright. Belt's back on. We should have done that to start with. Man, I really didn't want to use the old belt. I wanted it to all look clean, but it is what it is. So yeah, now I'm just going to tighten up these two fellows and we should be good to go, which I feel like I probably don't even need to tighten them as tight as it is, but you know. So got this back in, got it torqued down. I am slightly worried about how the water pump didn't spin after I installed it. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be able to be turned with your hands once it's in there, but you know, it didn't. So hopefully that's not a sign that something's wrong. If it is, I'll figure it out soon enough, I suppose. So fun development, radiator's in, at least as well as it can be. This bolt ended up just breaking in here. Well, it's not, well, the bolt itself is fine, but like what it threads into broke as I was just doing the last bit of hand tightening, checking to make sure that everything's good. Man, I really hate these types of fasteners for bolts. It's like they either fall out or stuff like that happens. Like the one that's down here, I just take my word on it. The one that's down there, it's just gone. It's supposed to be 3 bolts on this side. That one was already missing since the little carrier that it goes into, which is broken here, was just missing. So now on this side there's only one of the 3 bolts holding it on, and then there's 3 of the 3 bolts holding it on this side. But you know, with these things, I'm kind of worried they're going to break if I try to like move them around. But I can try to see if I can order some more of those. I don't even know what they're called, to be honest with you, but I'll have to figure it out. Don't be like me. Pay attention to what order things go in, so you don't end up having to remove your fan clutch to install your fan drum. It would be nice if easy stuff could be easy. So the bolts that were included in the hardware kit with the radiator do not actually fit in the holes dedicated for the fan shroud. So in order to get them to fit properly, like they kind of stick through just a little bit, but in order to get them to fit properly, you got to like really just hit the crap out of it with an impact. Ridiculous. How is the hole too small, and then you try to put it in, ends up too big? Dude, what is today? Oh my god. Probably time to just quit this and go eat dinner. Okay, so I'm not going to record a lot of what I do here. Kind of having this video get a little too long. Plus, I'm trying to get it done quick too. I don't want it to drag on forever. But I'm going to take off, I guess I'm going to take off the fan shroud. I'm going to try to drill out these holes to accept a larger size bolt. Put a bigger bolt in there, and I think I'm going to try to sorry, I get distracted. I'm going to try to also go in and replace the missing mounts over here. So I'll probably have to loosen the radiator a little bit to wiggle it out to put stuff in there. But that's kind of the game plan for right now. Alright, so I've got new hardware installed pretty much everywhere. I'm just working on getting that last bolt out. As I was taking things off, like this was the one that I had to replace, but as I was taking other things off, I realized that, well, as I was looking at other things, I realized that the other ones were broken. Like, they weren't as bad when they were on there, like I did damage them a little bit more taking them off, but they were already cracked, and so this was already starting to happen. So I just figured, like, yeah, that's kind of what it looked like when I was on there. But like you could see, it's kind of messed up. Old mounting hardware, looks pretty crusty. New stuff, new stuff. Figured it's probably just the best bet to replace all of it. That way, these can also all be the same size bolt heads because they were different. Alright, so that's all new hardware now, holding in the radiator. I believe in that last one. Now the plan is to drill out these 4 holes and then put one of these bad boys through it with a nut on the other end. That's going to be my solution. I hope it's a secure one. Alright, so I got the holes drilled out, the 4 of them. I think those bottom ones are where they're supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know why I was moping around for that for a couple days. It took all of 10 minutes to do with the drill. To be fair though, if it's a modification I can make in my driveway with a drill in 10 minutes, I have no idea why Denso just couldn't have it come off the assembly line like that, or have their engineers just, you know, work that into the design. Anywho, that should work pretty good. It's, there you go, hard to find depth perception on a camera, there you go. So yeah, the bolts, they fit through there, nice and good. Obviously it's not tight, but it doesn't need to be. The bolt's going to come on the other side with a washer and hold it down. Although to be fair, I do think I'm going to put it like this, because where the bolts, or where the drill came out, it's a little bit ragged, kind of hard to get in there and clean it up, and I don't think it has to be cleaned up perfectly. It'll just be a me issue later on if I get cut. So yeah, gonna go ahead and see if I can get the fan shroud on there now. Wish me luck. And a twist of ever-ending irony, the stock holes and the fan shroud weren't big enough to support the, I think, M8, M10 bolts. So I had to drill those out as well. So now they all fit. But in my quest to drill those out, I noticed that this is cracked. And this is supposed to be kind of a weight-bearing thing, since the windshield, not the windshield washer, the reservoir for the radiator is attached to it, as well as the power steering fluid reservoir. That's what this little snip is in there. Clips onto our fan shroud, over in here. So I'm going to fix it. Luckily I just got a plastic welder to fix the airbox, or that part of the airbox. So I'm going to try to do a test run on our trash can to make sure I don't completely screw it up, and then try to go for fixing that, because it's not a problem now really, but it's not going to be weight bearing for very long if I don't take care of that. Alright, so this is a finished plastic weld. It's not super pretty, but you have to kind of burn a little bit of excess plastic that they give you over the top of the studs that come out of there, otherwise they'll be super sharp and they'll like stab you real good. So that's what all that mess is. It's just extra burnt plastic on top of the little posts. But it is functioning, or it should function, and it'll make this a lot stronger. I'm gonna try to get this mounted. Sick stuff. So fan shroud, it's in, it's mounted, it's really sturdy. Might even be sturdier than it was before. I actually really dig that. Really dig that. Got my new bolts, all my new hardware there. Got my new hardware there. And on this side too.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Look at that. It's got more things holding it in now than it did before. Look at me, being a drama queen for nothing. And apparently the bottom one does actually fit. And the bracket for this. Still, don't know why they couldn't have just made those holes bigger so you could just do that and just supplied this hardware. Like, that would have been no extra effort on their part. They already had the holes in the right place. They were just too small. Excuse me. Yeah, so now I can try to start getting the hoses. Oh, actually, first I gotta put my fan back on. Alright, so fan clutch is back in. Man, trying to figure out where your hands are on a camera. Difficult. Upper radiator hose back on. Power steering fluid thing back in place. I'll probably try to get a few more hoses on tonight. I think I still got a little bit of time. But yeah, man, I'm kind of stoked. This is probably going to be all smooth sailing, you know, knock on something from here on out. At least getting the cooling system back together. Okay, so I'm hoping to get the last heater core hose back in place today. So this is the old one, and in fashion of the blower motor, I guess, these are no longer produced. You can't find them aftermarket, you can't find them OEM. Just nobody makes these heater core hoses for the 2.5 liter 97s. So, you know, I found a forum where people were talking about what to do, and I think this is an 11/16, and they were saying, hey, if you just go one size up to the 3/4 for just regular heater hose, you can actually just make that work, especially if, especially if you have one of these little like plastic brackets that hold the hoses for you. They said if you just route it after a few heating and cooling cycles, it'll kind of just form itself. So that's going to be the path I take. So I just went and got this 3-foot section of heater hose, and I'm just going to try to cut it down, you know, as much as it needs to go down once I get everything kind of in place to see it with a just little PVC pipe cutter. Hopefully that works. I've never tried cutting heater hose actually. I don't think, at least. Maybe I have. Hell, maybe I've even recorded myself doing it for this series. But anyway, that's going to be what I try to do today. So once I get that in, effectively the cooling system will be done. I've got like a little bit of heat shielding to throw on this new hose too, but that's going to be pretty easy. So I'm going to try to just do that and just see how it goes. So I did get it in place. It's a little stiff because, you know, I had a straight hose trying to go into a very specified curved space. So I do have like a little bit of a kink here, like nothing crazy, you know, just a little bit of a hard spot, which, like I said, it's a straight hose. It's supposed to be doing all these turns, so I'm not entirely surprised. And a little bit of one here. I'm hoping that as it runs and as it gets a little bit more loose just from, you know, having the hot coolant going through it, these will kind of soften up and they'll straighten themselves out a little bit. Absolute worst case scenario is 3 feet of hose from AutoZone. I think it cost me like less than $11. I can just go buy more and then just recut some more sizes. I cut it a little too long initially. I had to cut down some more pieces because, you know, I'd rather cut too long and then have pieces I can get rid of instead of cut too short and have pieces I need to add, because you can't so much add things. But this was, I don't know, it seemed like the best length really to fit there. But I don't know, maybe it's too short. Well, I'll just have to see once it gets run a few times. The only thing left to do now is just to throw a bit of heat shielding around the part that touches the valve cover, just so it's not, you know, resting against the top of the engine. It's going to be very warm. It's actually like right underneath that thing. Nice and visible for you guys. So I'm just going to throw that on, and then the cooling system should be done. Alright, so this stuff doesn't fit. It's like a 1-inch diameter hose, so it's supposed to fit on. I thought that's what this was, but maybe it's a little bit larger. The interior diameter is 3/4 inches, but I don't know, maybe it's slightly larger than 1 inch for the exterior. So I'm gonna call the video here, just say the cooling system's done, obviously minus the flush, that'll be its own video. But yeah, just know that there should be a heat covering there, which I will order one before I run it, because I don't want that hose to get cooked. But yeah, so this is cooling system, you know, done. Yeah, I think that's it. I need to figure out a stronger way to end these videos. But yeah, if you guys like this, you want to keep watching more, feel free to subscribe or just watch more videos in the playlist, or, you know, do whatever. One last look at the old cooling system components. Just, man, I still can't believe this.